What's good, y'all? Tristan here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 25 American slang words. I'm an American who's been living in Australia now for over a year, and I've done lots of videos about Australian slang, the Australian language, and how I love it so much, but a large part of my audience is Australian, and it's not as cool for them to hear about their own slang. So in this video, we're going to be talking about American slang. All these words are going to be like actual slang that we use in America, or it's going to at least be words that like we only use in America. So like, and it might not be a slang word, but like it'll be a word that we use in America that like no other English speaking place really uses. And don't worry, it's not gonna be like stupid slang like bae, dank, swag, yeet, Netflix and chill. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That is one struggle I've had coming up with this video, is that a lot of American slang terms are very quickly adopted around the world as just like typical slang or just like sayings, because one of the things that the US exports the most is our media, our TV shows, our music, our movies. Like, those things go all over the world, and they're usually spoken in American English, if that's a thing. But I have found 25 good actual slang words that I don't think y'all will have heard before, hopefully. I mean, I'm sure some of y'all have heard, but anyways, enough of this long intro, let's get right into it. Here are the 25. Number 1 is busted. So busted is like the opposite of cute. If you're looking busted, you're looking ugly. This word is pretty much identical to the English word clapped. So they'd say like, oh, I'm looking clapped, feeling clapped. Like, yeah, in America we would say busted. It is the opposite of cute, as in the sense it's like ugly, but you wouldn't look at someone, like you would look at someone and be like, oh, like they're cute, but you wouldn't look at someone and say they're busted. Like, it's usually referred to yourself and like your current state of look. So like when you roll out of bed in the morning and you're like, you know, got bags under your eyes and whatnot, you're looking busted. Number 2 is grubbing, or grubbing out, or grub. So grub refers to food. So if you're grubbing, you're eating, or if you're like grubbing out, you're like, it's not just eating. It's not like, you know, a fork and knife. This is not grubbing out. Grubbing out is like chicken wings and like pizza and like stuffing your face, and like it's like sloppy eating, like, you know, and you're really hungry, or just bar food. That's grubbing out. Number 3 is blinker. So it's not really slang, it's just the word we use for the little thing on your car that does that, like indicates which direction you're turning. Indicator is like what the rest of the world calls it, and I would say in America, like, we all know the proper name is indicator, so I guess it is slang. Anyways, that thing, we call it a blinker. In the rest of the world, it's an indicator. 4 is faucet. So this thing that you get water out of, we would call that your faucet, whereas in the rest of the world, they call it your tap. Number 5 is a buck. So in America, like a dollar, or like instead of saying dollar, you can replace dollar with buck. Oh, it's $5, $10, $1. But in Australia, they don't say buck really, they just say dollar. And I know in England, instead of saying like a pound, their like slang for pound is quid, like, you know, it costs 5 quid, 10 quid. So I would say America's buck is kind of equal to England's quid. Number 6 is Benjamin. So Benjamins technically refer to like $100 bills, because Benjamin Franklin is like on the face of a $100 bill. But because a $100 bill is like the highest, like the biggest bill in America, the word Benjamin now kind of just can refer to like money, or like got a lot of money. Like, ah, I got them Benjamins, like I got that money, I got like, I don't know, like technically yes, it refers only to like the $100 note, but like it also just can kind of mean like a lot of money. You'll hear it in like a lot of rap songs. Like, I feel like what's that, Right Round by Flo Rida, like spending my Benjamin Franklin's. That's enough singing, no more singing out of me. Also related to money, this is the last one. It is a saying, and that is break a bill. So they don't really say that anywhere else in the world. They kind of look at you if you're weird. If you say, hey, could you break a bill? Like, could you break my Benjamin? Could you break this 20? All breaking a bill just means like asking for change, but yeah, I don't know, just something we say in America. Number 8 is very localized slang. So me and my friends, like close friends, kind of use this, and like I've heard some people use it, but it's not that popular. But that is the word geek. So if something's geek, it's different. It's like unusual. Like, you know, like a geek, like a nerd is like a nerdy person, but something can be geek. You can be like, oh, that's so geek. Like, you can just say it referring to like it's different, unusual, weird. I'm trying to think of a good use for it. For some reason, this is the only thing I can think of, and it's like, I've seen one time like a fishing pole, instead of like casting it, you like hit a button and it just like rocket launches the thing out. Like, that's geek. Like, it's just weird. Like, a fishing pole's geek. Like, I don't know how to say it. It's just unusual or different. Oh, and you could also say like geeking out, like be geek. You can be geeked out, or like geeking out. Again, this one's so hard to explain. It just like comes up, but like I'd have to say like, if someone did something that's like weird and you're laughing at it, like you'd be geeking out. Like if like a little kid like ate dog food, like, and I would be laughing at them, I'd be like I'd be geeking out at them. I don't know how to, that's not a good explanation, but yeah, I think you probably get it. Number 9 is primarily in America, but that is bangs. So like people have their hair, you know, that goes like that. Those are your bangs. And the rest of the world, they're more commonly known as fringe, which I don't know, they're known as a fringe in America, but like I didn't actually know what a fringe was until I was maybe like 18, 20, like we call them bangs 90% of the time, fringe 10, whereas I feel like the rest of the world is kind of like fringe more so than bangs. All right, number 10, guys, is so weird, and I didn't realize this was weird about America until living abroad, because it is so normal to all Americans, but that is appetizer. So appetizer is just your first meal. The first thing that comes out whenever you order your food. Like, you know, so maybe the whole table might share it, and then you get your main meal. But as strange as it seems, like, appetizer is really only used in America. In other countries, like, that first dish you get in your meal is either gonna be called your starter or your entree. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Tristan, but entree is your main meal, right? Or you're thinking that if you're American, because that is number 11. Entree. So in America, we call your main dish your entree. You look at a menu, there's the appetizers, and then like there's the entree. Like your main meals, your entrees, well, yeah. Nowhere else in the world calls your main meals your entrees. They just call them your mains, your main meal. Entree in the rest of the world refers to the first like plate that you get, your appetizer. So entree means appetizer in the rest of the world, whereas in America, entree means main meal. So we're really the only country that uses, maybe Canada as well. A lot of these things might be North American slang, not just American. For real. So for real, even though I'm sure everyone like in other countries knows about it, it's just said a lot in America, and they don't really say it as like meaning seriously in other countries. Like if you tell me something cool, I'm gonna be like, oh, like for real, man? Like that's sick, like for real? But you just be like, oh, seriously? Oh, cool. Like I don't know, they just don't say for real. I don't know, it's like an American saying pretty much. Number 13 is drip.
Respect the drip, Karen.
I think that like Vine or that, I don't know, TikTok, whatever that was, that kind of got the word drip famous on like the global scale, I guess you could say. But drip just means like swag, style, I don't know, like you got the change, you got the, like, it's just your drip, like, I don't know, it's yeah, you get it. 14 is popping off, so it's just another saying that we say in America, no one else really says. You can kind of say it in a couple ways. I think most often I would say it like in sports, like if a player in any sort of sport is just doing good, he's scoring tons of touchdowns, tons of goals, just like doing incredible, then they're popping off, they're going crazy. You could also say it like if you're about to maybe like get in a fight with someone, like you're like dude, if he touched me, I would have popped off. Like I would have like gone off. Like it just means gone off pretty much. 15 is bed, but it doesn't refer to like this type of bed. It refers to the bed of a truck. So like in America we'd say, oh, like throw it in the bed. Whereas at least in Australia you would call that part the ute probably, or like the back of the truck. Yeah, for some reason we call it the bed. All right, number 14 is hookah. So this is just a different word. Y'all would call this a shisha. So like this thing, yeah. We call them hookahs. I don't know why. We call, like, you know the stuff that you put in it? Like, in Australia, at least, they just call it the tobacco. We would call that the sheesh. You put sheesh in it. You put sheesh in a hookah. But, yeah, here you call it tobacco in a shisha. Real quick, guys, I just want to say I hope you're enjoying this video. And if you are, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a big old like. Also, in a couple days, I'm going to be posting a dirty American slang video. So if you want to learn some dirty American slang, like, yeah, dirty stuff, check it out in the description below. Now the next 4 kind of all go hand in hand, but that is freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So in Australia and most like everywhere around the world, they just would call that like year 9, year 10, year 11, year 12. Whereas in America, you would never say, like if someone asked you what grade you're in, you would never be like, oh, I'm in year 12 or I'm in grade 10. Like you just don't say that. You always say freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and you say that in high school. And then when you go to university or college, you start over and you just like, you're a freshman again, sophomore, junior, senior, all over again. I kind of accidentally just said the next one, but that is college. So if you go to the University of Texas, the University of Illinois, the University of New York, any University of California, all these different universities, we don't say we go to university, we say we go to college. Which is kind of weird because like literally in the name, it says it's a university, but we call it college. Whereas like in every other English speaking country I've been to or talked to people from, they always will say university. They're never saying they're going to college when they're talking about a university, because like college is something different than university. So the fact that we call our university, or we talk about going to university as going to college, that's kind of weird just because, yeah, it's 2 separate things in the rest of the world. Number 22 is a realtor. In the rest of the world, they probably say estate agent, but yeah, in America, we call them a realtor. 23 is vacation. The rest of the world would probably call it holiday, or the rest of the English-speaking world would call it going on holiday, going on vacation. Yeah, sorry, I feel like Canada could probably also be included in like this list with America, I feel like. So forgive me if I'm leaving y'all out Canada and just calling this American slang. This could be like North American slang or whatever. My bad. Anyways, next. 24 is hella. Hella just means like a lot or really. I'm guessing it's probably short for like I have a hell of a lot of. So like, oh, I have a hell of a lot of homework to do. Like, oh, I got hella homework. But you could also use it in like a different context. Like if someone got like sick kicks, like brand new shoes that are awesome, like, oh, those are like hella sick shoes. Like, I don't know, hella cool. Like it just means a lot or really. Yeah, hella. And the last one, number 25, is Podunk. So if you don't know what this is, Podunk just means like small. It's like a podunk town. It means like kind of like a small, rundown town. Somewhere you just pass on the side of the road and don't even notice it exists. Yeah, that is a podunk town. You have no idea how hard this video was. Like, this list was harder than any Australian list I've ever come up with because America just sucks at slang. We don't have much of it, but I did my best and I don't know. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Anyways, check that video out right over there if you want to learn some dirty American slang, real naughty stuff not to say around your parents. So yeah, check it out. Thank you all so much, guys. Peace out. Toodle-doo. Ciao.